Hey everyone, welcome back to Someone's PC, and we're back with some of the Luffy gameplay and basically the deck list that I did profile on, except I'm borrowing my homie's deck, Trevor, who's also known as Broken Honor TCG on YouTube, and I'm using his list, which is pretty much an exact 50 of mine, but he has Brooks instead of the 2-drop promo Luffy. That's a 2K counter, the one I said is not exactly necessary for the list, but you can play it if you want to. And yeah, I'm playing against my homie and also part of Someone's PC, Tyler Bowling. He's a purple player that used to play a lot of Digimon, and yeah, now he's just we've been throwing crazy amount of Kaido versus whatever I'm playing games, and so this has probably felt like my 400th game versus Kaido, and probably my third one with Luffy versus Kaido, but just want to get some Luffy gameplay videos out there. Um, just kind of go over my thinking of how this matchup kind of goes. So, yeah, I'll be on the right. Tyler will be on the left. Where there are roles, and looks like Tyler's going first. I'm not happy about that because I don't want Onigashima to drop down on 3 and whoop my ass. But opening hand, not bad, but this double jet pistol, pretty shit against purple. So I elected not to drop down a Brook or the Sanji here. I'd rather have my 2K counters in my hand and just not do, much with that. And he plays down to ulti, pays 1 to ramp up and passes to me. So I'll slam a Nami down. We're going to grab the Nico Robin. I see a Chopper there. I'm debating grabbing the Chopper too because I really like the defense in this matchup. Usually they just want to drop a King down and use that advantage to snowball something against you. To like pop 1-4, but if I turn sideways, I can double defend. So I go for a Luffy ability, swing in, pay 3, drop in the Nico Robin, just to kind of say, hey, I'd rather have my Nico Robin popped by a King on this turn than to play the Zoro I have in my hand and get it popped that way. He goes for a double attach, swings in 5. I'm looking at my hand. I have like Zoro, Brooks, a Law. I'm debating if I want to discard the Law here because I kind of want maybe utilize the 2K plus having a body on board next turn. But I'm like, whatever. I'll go for 1-for-1. He swings in 7 with Kaido. It's a 2K counter. I don't feel like losing another one out of my hand. So I'd take the hit. We grab a nice 2K out of life. And he throws down a sheephead. I think I took a Nami out of life or drew Nami for turn. But yeah, he's having a pretty good ramp up. I throw it on Nami. Instantly nab this Luffy here. I might be thinking, do I really want this Chopper now because I already saw one earlier that I didn't grab? And I would love a blocker. If you can't tell, most of this game's going to go, I'd like a blocker at a lot of points. So I'm going to go and swing in Robin. 5 into his leader, crack the ulti. And just see what he counters out with, if he counters at all. So he goes for a Queen. Now I know he at least has, he had a 1K counter. Maybe has another one in hand. But it's like knowledge checking. It's like, oh, are you burning a 2K counter on my 5K? If not, then yeah, I'm super down to just keep swinging it at 5 chump change to make you overpay for any damage here. So I'm debating between a Zoro and between attaching to the Nami here, because what I'm thinking is he's going to go to at least 8 next turn, and I don't want to get my Zoro plus another card in my hand popped by a King 7-drop to get Omega value on my board. I'd rather him just pop useless Namis that already give me a +1 for a card. So I swing in 5 with Nami. It gets through. So I'm like, all right, he must not have another 1K, at least at this moment. And then I go 7K with Luffy, and they both get through, bring him down to 2 health. So right now, I'm feeling rather comfortable with my game state. And I'm thinking to myself, King's coming. At least I utilize my hand in a way, and my board and my Dawn in a way where I'm getting value off of my cards that I'm playing, and I'm not just like throwing out a Zoro, getting it popped immediately by a King. Looking back, I know that he had the extra Dawn. He could have attached a Sheep's Head, so he could have like double attached onto a Zoro to Sheep's Head and his like leader, and put a lot of pressure on Nico Robin. I would have paid to defend it or didn't, right? And then have my Zoro popped anyway. So I feel rather okay with how this turn progresses. He swings in. I counter with Brook, yeah, whatever. I draw for my turn, and now I have a big think turn. I'm sitting on double jet pistol, which feels like useless garbage in my hand. I can pop a sheep's head with it. I could pay 4 for a Law, lower down King, and then jet pistol it. But I feel like that's just not the value I really want to be getting out of my turn progression here. If I also play the Law down, then just Jet Pistol, then the following turn he can just drop down a 6-drop King on me, pop my Law, and now I'm in the same scenario that I was the turn before, except now I have, Omega no board instead of just a little bit. So I go Luffy, swing in. His hand's huge because I just took two early swings in against him. And, obviously they're going to net advantage off of that. And I'm just trying to, check what he's up to. Like, do you have another 1K counter? Do you have a 2K counter? What kind of knowledge can I feast on here? He still hasn't hit Onigashima or, spent his turn ramping ulti instead. So in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, this needs to happen. I need to start applying more pressure, or I need to keep my bodies on board when they come down. I know that he doesn't have a 9-drop Kaido next turn because he literally can't play it, and trying to utilize that in the most way possible. So I pay 3 for a Zoro here, and then use 1 Dawn attached to it to apply some pressure. Ask for another 2K out of his hand. Swinging 6 really sucks, but I wasn't doing anything with that 1, and that's pretty much just a symptom of not having a chopper that I've been bitching about this entire video, right? So pay 5 for the Luffy, knowing that he can't Kaido this turn. I'm going, all right, I'll just pay 5 for Luffy. I won't swing with it, and I won't allow King and Kaido to just openly swing over my Luffy. I'm relatively healthy in terms of life, so I'm not too worried here. I do want to get this Jet Pistol used, but as of right now, we're sitting all right. I'd love a blocker. I would love maybe getting down to Shanks after this King turn sideways. Just establish a big body, something that can compete with the future Kaido. So he goes 7 on my Zoro. I'm not paying 2K. I'm not playing 4K to get this garbage out of here, right? I'll just lose the Zoro. And it's also gonna get swung on by the Sheep's Head and by the Kaido the following immediately after. So he makes a play I didn't expect, which is he goes double up and forces 4K onto my Luffy. And now I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to start losing board. And I'm taking a lot of damage here just to, try and... How do I say? Just to try and, force him to make a big Kaido play. Now, this is, the biggest turn I think I have to do, going into the tank. And think about how I want to resolve this. I'm really scared of the amount of value this Sheep's Head's going to put in. He had a great productive turn, and he's getting closer to using Kaido's ability and swinging in for a lot of damage the following. I managed to pick up a blocker, and so I'm trying to split up my Dawn, not only in a way to confuse him, as if I might have Red Hawk to defend myself with the 2 in the corner, but to think how I'm going to utilize this Jet Pistol. And I mean, even looking now, I think I misplay here. I just don't think I made the correct move. Maybe I'm too afraid of the pressure that the Kaido leader ability is putting on me to think clearly. And he had left one open for a Blast Breath, and I'm like, dude, there's no shot I'm getting through this King without really dedicating so much Dawn to Luffy here. And I need to get over this King. I need to make sure he can't lethal me next turn. So, I think the proper play here is just to Law, drop down the King, swing Luffy into it, and then Jet Pistol it away. And then I can go Luffy into the Sheep's Head for 6, force a 2K counter, or force the block from the other Luffy. Or I could take the other 2 Dawn that I'll have left over, throw it onto Luffy, make it unblockable, and get to the Sheep's Head here. Instead, he goes for a block. And I'm going to go 9 into the King. And that might be an over-dedication of resources. I do have 4 left over here to go for the Jet Pistol onto the King if I felt like it. And I just kind of burned, a lot of stuff for him. So, I pay 2 for the Bartholomew, knowing that I have 2 open to Red Hawk him. I'm like, all right, this Red Hawk can definitely save my Luffy, and then we'll be big chilling. He also hit 9, so he can Kaido me. But at least I'll have a Red Hawk then, so I can't get lethaled. So, looking back, this was not right. Just Jet Pistol the King, double swing in life, and then have the Law, and then pass. I'm also thinking I need 3 cards to not have Kaido be so impactful. And I think in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I can I can be so addicted to red hawking and popping the sheep's head and feel like, wow, look at that value, right? But it's just it's still Kaido. He still gets to like drop it down, crack my law in a second. I block with Bartholomew, and then he gets the free poke of my leader. Yeah, I should have just jet pistol this king away. Give him one decent productive attack. I don't know. This is actually something I want to think about for a long time. I mean, if you're sitting here judging, watch my gameplay, and you're like, yo, you're playing like shit, feel free to tell me what you think I should have done in that scenario. I don't know. These pistols are dead in my hand. I want to use them. And that's why I'm not playing it at 1.5, because Tyler's taking his time thinking through his turn, and I'm just thinking, what the fuck did I just do? Like, is that correct? Was I progressing correctly? So I'm thinking, all right, if I counter this Kaido here and go down to 2, I'm still gonna get Kaido'd, and then the following turn potentially 7 Dawn on his leader, remove the 7, and then a 10 Kaido swinging in my face. So I'm like, I actually think I want to go down to 1 here. I'm trying to find another blocker. I'm trying to establish like some other better presence. And yeah, it's very interesting how I take this line. So Kaido comes down, he pops my law, and I kind of disagree with this. I think he should have just popped my Bartho, or just straight up pop the Luffy and then swing in at me and force the Bartho move. I don't know. Maybe, I'll be honest, he's a much better purple player than I am, and I'm trying to regulate board state. Maybe this law was going to get too much value. He might have been more scared of the law being there the following turn. I don't get it. Oh, what? Like, he should have maybe he's scared, like, I won't burn a blocker, and I'll just let Luffy and that guy go, and he has no other way to remove the blocker, and I can't see his hand outside of this blast breath he's throwing. And so that blocker could be so valuable, he's going to bait me into swinging it in the Luffy, or he's making misplay, and I'm just being a big homie by, like, speaking as if like he's deep diving into like the fucking tank. So I go to the tank here, and I'm like, all right, Russ, if I play this Otama, my hands got I got like nothing. I'm basically defenseless, but I can't lethal here. There's no shot, and maybe there is a shot if like the Zoro got through. So it's Brook, Otama, Zoro, double jet pistol, I believe, is my hand, and he's sitting on 3, and he has no Dawn open. So I know that I'm like, all right, if maybe he has some dead blast breaths, and like this is the turn to do it. So I'm thinking to myself, pay 1 Otama, will lower down the Kaido. Play it. All right, there you go. Lower the Kaido. Boom. Now it's AK. And I'm like, how can I force a 2K counter or like skill check a 2K counter here? So I'm like, whatever. We're going 10 just in case you have a double 2K counter. Doesn't block it. And I'm like, all right, I need to clear this king. I 100% need to clear this king here because I need to not get lethal next turn by, or 2 turns from now, or literally next turn by king swinging at me, plus big value off the Luffy. But I don't know. He moved the Kaido so quickly when I swung at it. I should have had the like soul read that there's no counter power in his hand. And I think that's just like, I don't know. Could just be me looking back here. But I think a lot of people do that too. They just like, when they don't have counter power, they're throwing the cards around like crazy. And that should be a dev giveaway. I was like, oh, your hand's shit. Nah, I need to start playing like your hand's shit. All right, so I'm mulling around here. I'm trying to get the Zoro involved in the game. I'm thinking, do I hold it for like lethal out of nowhere, right? And then ultimately I go, there's no shot. You can't allow this king to live. And so I had to swing 9 at it. And again, he moved it. And now I'm bluffing a Red Hawk, like another Red Hawk, with a pass on too. And I ask how many cards in hand. Oh, for no reason. All right. So he draws. We're sitting on Zoro, double jet pistol, and 2 counter. I am all right, man. Like, this matchup's awkward. I wanted to get jet pistol involved in this game much earlier, and I didn't. And maybe the play was Otama lower king, jet pistol, take a bunch of Dawn, test the Kaido for like a bigger 12. I mean, I have 2 left over unutilized. There's no shot that I played this turn correctly. Like, no shot. And that's just my lack of purple into Luffy experience. That's what happens when you just play green all day. You just end up with dumb shit like this, where like, you could have just played it better. I don't have a Bonnie over here to tap her. Be silly about. So he goes 7 at the Juffy, and I'm like, let's go. Brook time. Brook save the day. And now I'm just kind of thinking to myself, all right, he's only at 8 the following turn. I'm not gonna get Kaido'd. Easy fucking squeezy. And Lordy, he drops down on Gashima, and I'm like, oh my god, bro. I can't even lethal him. This is so stupid. What are you doing? And I felt like I walked into it by playing the Otama. I still have 2 dead jet pistols in my hand. And I know lethal's coming the following turn. I rip a Luffy off the top. And I'm like, Chopper, where are you? You know? Like, where's Tony? And then this revelation opens up. And I'm like, wait. Maybe I can Zoro and Luffy. And we get like 5 swings in this turn. Bodied. Like, the closer. So I go for a swing here. He has the counter. I'm like, all right, your hand's just full of counters. Apparently, I'm just like playing against the counter god right now. And yeah, this is a rough turn. I literally can't get this Otama involved in the game either. Just playing Luffy is like, it's the 6th of the. It'd be an extra 6 power than I would be utilizing here, right? Instead of the 5. So I swing here, and I was like, all right, we might have it. And then Blast Breath comes down. And I'm like, all right, well, that takes lethal off the table 100%. And you know what's great? These double jet pistols just sitting doing nothing in my hand. And so then I'm debating, do I even swing here to give you a card? Right? And that was that slight hesitation. And now I'm here like, all right, well, if I play another card out of my hand, I'm kind of just giving them back the way. Like, I only have 2 cards for potential counter power instead of 3. Because 3 is more intimidating, right? I'm like, whatever. Pay 5 for the Luffy. And, like, hope he doesn't go for this. You know? Like, hopefully he plays like some other people who play their locals, which is why they're all winning. They're winning with, like, bad decks or, like, bad lists or bad gameplay. Because, people are just, they're getting used to playing the game. They're not addicted to this shit like I have been for the past, like, 4 or 5 months or whatever, right? So he's going to go pay 5. X-Drake to discard that card in my hand. As soon as he does this, I already knew I lost. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm throwing away one of this pistol that I'm pissed off that I haven't seen all game. And he's like, Dawn -7, burn your last life. Is that a 2k counter? Because if not, I win. And he swings. I flip over pistol like, yeah, you got it. Fun times. I get up, turn the video off. I don't know what else to say. Bye. This is hilarious. I should have some kind of like end screen. Oh, all right. Currently, I will have an end screen up and be like, all right, here's how it went or whatever. So-and-so wins. Yay. But, yeah. I wish I had a 2k counter. Maybe I didn't need to save that Luffy and burn the Brook out of my hand. But then he could just play like another card because I still wouldn't have threatened lethal the following turn unless like Luffy poke. I didn't know I was going to rip the Luffy off the top. How am I supposed to know this, right? All right. Either way, we're going to get to game 2 and 3 of that matchup later on. You'll see what I actually do, right? But until then, thank you so much for sitting here listening to me rant and watching this gameplay. Hope you have a great day.